Greetings, Divine Ones. The power of Ra, the Galactic Confederation, and why the Great Experiment on Earth was created. Part 1. The first humans were Lyran and Sirian in our universal matrix bubble. Conflict broke out in the cradle of Lyra, the Lyran constellation, between the negatively polarized Orion races and the Lyrans. This led to heavy and long drawn-out conflict which we know as the Orion Wars, which is what the Star Wars movie series is about. The Orion/Draco invaded the Lyran system, corrupting their social memory complex, and in the process 50 million souls were lost in the destruction of 3 planets, Bila, Tika, and Marek. The negative Orion/Draco faction sided with the Dark, Black Sun, Empire, which were 95% oriented towards the service to self-polarity, whilst the Lyran/Sirians followed the law of one and the rays, Ra, of light that were of a service to others/unity consciousness. Christ is a shortened version of Christos that translates as man and Human, which means the light of man. Man is Ra, the pathway to the light. The universal matrix conforms to the light cube, Ra, and dark cube, Satan, to form the YHVH duality matrix. The YHVH Metatronic grid gives beings the choice to choose their consciousness via the flower of life sacred geometry held within our DNA blueprint. In Gematria, YHVH equates to 26, Y equals 10, H equals 5, V equals 6, H equals 5, as does man, M equals 1, A equals 12, N equals 13. 26 divided into the 2 polarities gives you 13. The 13th portal is the gateway back to either the light of God, Golden Dawn via the heart, or the false God, of the T𝗵𝗲, depending on what path you choose to walk in your evolutionary soul journey. 26 condensed down in numerology gives you 8 by adding the 2 and 6 together. 8 is the symbol for infinity, which connects to the 8th dimensional portal of Orion that holds the library of all things, infinite torus of the Akashic Records data field, and connects to the black hole void portal of God, 𝗵𝗲. 8 also aligns to the 8 points that connect up to the light and dark 3D cube of our reality, Kabbalah tree of life/death, that holds our vibrations through the 3 dimensions of height, width, and depth. The 144 vibrations within Metatron's cube contains the full spectrum of light and dark that can be separated by the 4 elements and pillars, earth, water, fire, and air, of the square-shaped geometry, 2D, to use for positive or negative purposes. Light cube equals 4, dark cube equals 4, connected to the one infinitive creator through the ether equals 144. 144 divided by 2 equals 72. 72 light vibrations, God of light. 7 plus 2 equals 9. 9 the dimension of God and the higher self/higher mind, and 72 dark vibrations, false God self and ego lower self/lower mind. The Dark Orion Empire commanding forces were known as Sith Lords or Dominator Victimizers. The Orion resistance known as the Black League fought against the Empire, but many of them fell to darkness or became enslaved by the Dominators. Some of the members of the resistance were Ra, masters of the light that held potent dragon energy, 𝗵𝗲 dragons, but still managed to become corrupted through killing in dualistic battles, thus heavily shifting their vibrations to alter their states of consciousness towards the negative polarity. The Dark Orion Empire used victimizer mind technology, also referred to as Armageddon software, to hijack beings of light, submitting them to darkness and slavery through deep fear holographic implants/destructive false memories seated in the unconscious mind. The Draco reptilians and their Orion allies on Rigel used their advanced war weaponry and mind control technology to infiltrate and enslave native inhabitants in 21 star systems. The Lyrans and Vegans were a peaceful human and feline civilization that developed agriculture on several planets and thrived in their service to others mentality. They weren't expecting the attacks from the reptilians, but even whilst unprepared, still they fought back. Some of the wars lead to a truce between certain reptilian and human/feline groups, which saw them cohabitate with one another peacefully and even started interbreeding. This is how I believe the cat/feline species got the reptilian eye genetics as a result of this hybridization. These were the reptilian factions that managed to break away from the Empire and choose their own path, Kalisk and Morkel. The tyranny of the Orion onslaught grew too powerful for the Lyrans to handle, and so they fled Lyra to colonize new human civilizations on other planets such as Arcturus, the Pleiades, Cygnus Alpha, Antares, Cassiopeia, Alpha Centauri, and Andromeda, to name a few. Humans spread across 110 different star systems, developing their own spiritual practices and technologies in their new evolutionary cycles. The original Lyran refugees fled to the Xanatai star system in the Andromedan galaxy. Lyra is the 12th gate that connects directly to Andromeda. When Lyra was taken over and partly destroyed, in the process of its fall, its natural crystal, Christ, codes and crystal architecture of eternal living light became reversed and locked into the Milky Way system to feed the black cube matrix and negative entities. The Metatronic Collective tried to repair this distortion but sadly were unsuccessful and got absorbed into the AI matrix. This only made the black hole 𝗵𝗲 more powerful for the dark entities to maneuver in and pass through to our universe and strengthen the dark alliances of Orion and its empire. Luckily now, this is changing thanks to the 𝗵𝗲 collective, who consist of 12 Andromedan tribes who have energetically connected the 12 pillar halls of Zion with the help of the 12 children of the Law of One, currently incarnated in human form on Earth, to move Adam, man, into his/her next consciousness activation cycle and override the darkness as we move into the fourth density of love and light. The 12 children are those who were originally chosen to lead humanity forward in Atlantis by Enki/Thalin, holding the keys to the 12 portals on Earth to establish the new 5D dodecahedron matrix grid which we are currently merging with. They are the Ra and portal keepers of Orion's belt that are unblocking the 8th portal access to Orion, allowing for the 12th portal of the planetary gates and the 𝗵𝗲 Kundalini energy to flow through to us to give us new life forces. This includes unblocking negative distortions in our pineal gland, pituitary glands, hypothalamus, and other parts of the brain which were previously keeping us asleep and feeding our life forces to the negative astral entities in the 4th dimension. This is all part of retrieving the lost 12 DNA strands in the 12 Tree of Life grid template. Elon Musk betrayed the light forces in Andromeda by switching sides, assisting the Draco reptilians in the 𝗂𝗍 infiltration takeover. This is why in his current incarnation he has disguised some of his SpaceX rocket activity as space exploration ventures when in fact he is sending war weapons targeted at Andromeda to disrupt the 𝗵𝗲 network. Their work is blocking the path for Musk to collect more transhuman and artificial grid AI technology from his reptilian allies on Mars in order to slow down the 5D transition and take as many souls with him before the final transition takes place. The 110 human colonies that branched off from Lyra joined together to create the Galactic Federation of Light and learned as a collective unit how to repel and diffuse reptilian hostility and invasions. They are assisting in allowing these new positive energies to flow through the portals without interference. The darkness is now trapped and the new blueprint is locked in place. To be continued.